Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Bet Daily. Sorry we were a little bit late. We had a little bit of a research project going on behind the scenes before we started the show. It will be useful for the show, at least. So even though we are a little bit late, we will apply what we learned a little bit earlier before we went on the air. All right, Papa Dude, Magic is here. Magic, how are you doing today, buddy? Are you ready? Are you excited?
I'm ready. It was a good, fun 4th of July. Hope everybody had a good time. I see it looks like everybody still got all 10 fingers, so nobody blew anything off last night. So you're better than some former NFL players already. Good job, guys.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Magic. Thanks for the uplifting comments there to start. Papa Dude, are you recovered from our big bash yesterday?
Oh yeah. I slept. I didn't sleep very good though. I thought I'd sleep better, but sometimes when you're wore out, you don't sleep as well. So, sure. And it's my fault. We're a little bit late, as we will discuss as we go later.
Yep. All right. Well, let's go through some of these baseball games, and then we'll get to our little research project that we did off the air just a minute ago. Let's start with the Phillies and the Rays, Papa Dude. We're going to start with this one with you. The Rays are minus 120 once again here. They were minus 120 yesterday and lost to the Phillies. Total sitting at 9. What did you do with this one?
I debated it for a long time. I think the Rays are starting to falter a little bit. Their ace pitcher I saw got put on the DL. The All-Star break's coming soon, so he probably isn't going to miss but the one start, which would have been this week or may have been yesterday. So I'll probably be back after the All-Star break. He just has stiffness in his back. So I don't think it's serious. We'll just have to see. They're not playing as well. The pitching matchup is good for the Phillies today, or good enough. I like the Phillies. I'm going to take them at plus money. I don't like betting Tampa at minus 120 right now. I would take the Phillies if I was going to bet it.
I just see that they are up to minus 130 or minus 140 in places, so it's trending towards the Phillies here. So if you're going to play the plus money on the Phillies, you might wait just a second and see if that floats up any further. Magic, what do you think about this one?
It's tough because Taijuan Walker for the Phillies has been so good for them this year, but he's a lot better at home than on the road. He's got a 3.93 ERA overall, but when he's on the road, he's actually got a 5.26 ERA, and you're going up against a Rays team that they love to put runs on the board if you give them a chance. So I wouldn't touch this one because you've got a strong pitcher who's on the road and does a lot worse on the road and facing an extremely talented offense. So I'd pass on this one, but it would not surprise me if the Phillies won. It's just a matter of how Walker is doing and how the team, does he get run support from the Phillies as well?
Yeah, I went back and forth on this one a little bit as well. And by the way, I'm in my first slump really of the baseball season, where it's just haven't been my way the last couple of days. So, but like I've kind of said, it's a fickle game. It's a high variance game, so you can't get too down on yourself. But I went back and forth with like Papa Dude. I almost played the Phillies as one of my best bets. Did not do it. Ended up staying away. I didn't touch this one as well. I thought this was a really tough matchup here. I'm not ready to say the Rays are tanking or anything like that, but they definitely have not played well the last few outings. So we'll see what happens. Phillies are surging right now. We'll see if they can keep that up. I stayed away completely. All right, let's go to my favorite team. Let's go to the Reds. They won again yesterday. They started a pitcher who had not pitched in the big league since 2018. No problem. He only gave up 4 runs through 5 innings. That was enough as the Reds win 8-4. Reds are minus 120 again, Papa Dude, in Washington against the Nationals. Total 9.5. Where are you going?
Well, I like the over today. I think both of these teams can score. The Reds pitch. The Reds pitching is so shaky, but it doesn't matter because they scored 8-9 runs every day. And they don't have a real good pitcher going today. If I was going to bet it, I think I would take they just can't keep winning every day. They just can't. And but they do. And the Nationals aren't any good, so I don't like to take a chance on a team like them, but the Reds minus 120, and I just think they're going to lose the game sooner or later. The over is a little high. It's 9.5. It was 10. I don't like 10. I know there's not much difference, but I could see 6-4, 8-5. I'd go the over today, even though that number is just a little bit high.
I think the over makes a lot of sense here as well. Ashcraft on the mound against Josiah Gray for the Nationals, who have been pretty darn good. Magic, what do you think about this one?
Can I be the asshole that says I think the Nationals win this one?
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's just Papa Dude, you guys both outlined so perfectly that it's so shaky the pitching. But you've got two pitchers who, last time out, both had very strong outings. But with Josiah Gray for the Nationals, he just got named to the NL All-Star team. He's been pretty strong this year after having a pretty rough year last year. So I'm leaning towards the Nationals. I'm going to guess if the Reds are minus 120, the Nationals must be plus 100 then. So I think that's what I would go with.
Reds, they'll win this one. Don't worry about it. Take the Reds. Anytime the Reds are minus 120 or better, you take them. Don't worry about it.
Does each team still have to have somebody on the All-Star team?
I think so, yeah.
That's why Gray is on the All-Star team, because the Nationals have to have somebody.
Might be somebody. Might as well be him.
Yeah,
I think that's still a rule. He hasn't been too bad.
No, he hasn't.
Listen, I'm with Aaron Marshall right here. I watch Ashcraft pick. By the way, he pitched Friday in one of the best baseball games I've watched in a long time. That was the game, Papa Dude, where the Reds had to come back in extra innings multiple times to win. It was unreal. Anyway, he pitched in that game, and he pitched very well. And if he shows up like that again, forget about it. The Reds will win. So give me the Reds. I'm not gonna rain on the Reds parade today. All right, one more here, Papa Dude. We'll go Rangers, Red Sox here. I thought this was the best game as far as this just looks like a total toss-up to me today. The Sox minus 110, total 9.5. You got Gray against Bello. Papa Dude, where are you going here?
Boy, you have picked some real dandies today.
I picked the tough ones today.
I know. I'm like you. I have no way. I don't know where to go. I don't get Boston right very often. I've overestimated them a lot. I think they're better than what they are. Obviously, they're not. Texas is good, no doubt. So on a break-even game like this, if you're going to bet it, I guess you go with the best team. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did in this one. I went with Texas because I think they're better. I don't think the pitching matchup's that big a deal. So I went with Texas just because they're the better team, but I wouldn't touch this one with a 10-foot pole.
Magic, are you touching it?
I'm touching the 10-foot pole. Yeah, is that what we're at? You're asking me there. Listen,
up for that one.
Papa Dude, thank you. It's good to have a couple of nice big meatballs right down the plate to smash out. Papa Dude said that his issue with this game is he's picking if he had to, we'd go with the Rangers because he's been overestimating Boston. That's the problem. You've got to estimate Boston. Don't overestimate. Just estimate them. You've got John Gray pitching for the Rangers. You can't have two Grays winning on the same day. It just doesn't happen. No. Brian Bello is actually a very strong pitcher for the Bo Sox. I'm going to go with, if I don't know what the odds are in this or anything, I would take Bo Sox first 5. I think Brian Bello is going to keep this game very close. I think he's only given up more than 2 earned runs once in his last, let's see. He's surrendered more than 2 earned runs, just 3 of his 13 starts, only once in the last 11. That's really damn good for him. So as long as he can get through a solid 5, and I think he can, I would lean towards Bo Sox first 5 in this.
That's probably going to be about plus 125, plus 130. I would say would be the price on that. So that's pretty darn good as well. Brian Bello last time out, guys, and Papa Dude, we were on the air when this was happening. He had a no-hitter against the Marlins through 7 innings. Now, if you remember, the score was 0-0 when they went into the 8th. The Marlins got some hits and won the game. But he has been pitching very well, to Magic's point that he said, a little bit earlier, hey, Bello, very solid. However, give me the Rangers. I think Bello comes down to earth a little bit today. I'll take the Rangers. I've been pretty good betting against the Red Sox all season. Oddly enough, at home, I've bet against them a lot and won, which you wouldn't think that. But anyway, I'll take the Rangers in this one today. All right, it's research project time. We've done it. We're going to go for the race of the day. Parks, race number 9 on the card. Papa Dude, you requested this one.
I did.
You really wanted to talk about it. Tell us why you really want to talk about Parks race 9 today.
Well, I pick these races every day. Me and you get together and do this every day. And it's kind of mindless going through all these tracks. It gets monotonous. And boom, this one stepped up. And what stepped up was a horse by the name of Beverly Park. And I just saw this. 54 races, 28 wins. Mm-hmm. Well, that just steps out to me because there aren't very many horses that win 28 races. I don't care where you look. You don't find that very often. This horse is 28 for 54. So you were up at the house yesterday, and I said, hey, we got a horse I knew you would know who the horse is. I said, I couldn't think of the name of it. And I looked it up. Beverly Park. And you go, oh, yeah, I think that horse ran 30 times last year. And I said, oh, no way. It did. And then after we looked it up, when we got to discussing it with Magic here today, too, a horse won 15 races last year.
Yeah.
And go on. You go from there.
Well, I was going to say, so then we started looking up, and you can go back over the last 22 years from 2000 to 2022 on Equibase and see what was the most number of races won by a horse in each season. Only one time in the last 22 years has a horse won more than 15, and that was Rapid Redo. He went 19 for 19 in one season, and that was a big-time story. But Beverly Park, 30 starts, 15 wins in 2022. That's the second most by a horse since 2000 for a season. So, I mean, that's incredible when you think about that. And like I said, there's 52 weeks in a year. Beverly Park ran 30 of those 52 weeks last season. I mean, that's incredible. Magic, you're shaking your head. I mean, it's really something, isn't it?
It is, and he was just such a fun horse last year for us. Like, it was just, there was a point when he ran, 4 times in January? It was running every week. We're like, hey, Beverly Park's back. There was a time, twice it happened. He, ran in a race, lost it. 4 days later, they shipped him to an entirely different state and ran him in a race, and he won that one. That happened in January, it happened in February. This horse is just, it's unbelievable. Yeah. Also, not a gelding. He's a 6-year-old in all these starter allowance claiming races. But he's not a gelding, which is interesting to me too. But God, I love this horse.
Yeah, it's these other candy asses, as you were saying, Magic. Half of the Kentucky Derby field won't run 30 times combined in the entire year. Yeah. So don't tell me this shit. You can't do this. Yes, you can. I know he's not running a mile and an eighth and all that. He's in 6 furlongs, 6.5, 7 furlongs. But you can run them more than you do.
I'm looking back here to when Norm Cash, because the trainer is Norm Cash. I'm looking back to when he claimed this horse.
August 2021. I was looking that up. Got him for 12.5 off Dane Kabisky.
Okay. Dane Kabisky. Okay, I can't go on with my Dane Kabisky story, but that's hilarious.
Come on, just tell it. There's nobody watching. Nobody watches the show. It's just us 3.
No, maybe later. All right, so let's talk about the race. I can't believe Dane Kabisky had this horse. All right, let's talk about the race real quick here. So, Poppy, are you going to go Beverly Park to win? That's the big question.
What's that?
Are you going to go to Beverly Park to win?
Well, the other thing that makes this race so interesting is the field. We got great. I'm not going to say they're great. We got some really good horses in here. Here's a horse that's won 28 out of 54. I'm not sure I'm picking him. We've got Quick Tempo that was trained or claimed by Jamie Ness. We know what that means. That horse is going to run pretty well. Claimed
Juice to the moon. If anybody's new to the show, Juice to the moon.
Yeah. He claimed for 15, put him in a starter allowance. He finished second in a little higher starter allowance than what this one is, I think. So this horse is going to run well today. And there's another horse named Kate's Golden Dude, who's 15 for 60, has won 4 of the last 7 at this level. Speed all over the place in this race. There's just tons of speed. The 1, the 5, the 6, the 8 are all going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with Old Beverly because that's the start of the show today. I think that horse will set off the pace and go get him at the end, like a horse has done 15 times last year. And twice here already. So,
okay. All right, Magic, where are you going here in this one?
I do want to bring up real quick. Dennis was talking about it. I don't know how they get away with all the drug rules from state to state, and he clarified he's not talking about. He's not accusing Norm Cash of anything improper. He's saying that state to state, the medication rules are crazy different, and this horse runs all over the place. So I would go with him on top. My concern with the 8, he had a good chance to go gate to wire against a 4-horse field in this exact setup last out. First off, the claim for Ness, and that extra half furlong at 6.5, I think, is what did him in. I like him here, but I think he's going to end up fading to 3rd. I like Beverly Park to win, and then give me French toast! in second place. Does nobody get that? That was something that was so huge, like in Michigan. Okay, fine. Anybody in the chat, do you know the French Toast song? All right, this is something we'll take care of later, and then we're going to talk about this on the Magic Mike show tomorrow because I can, and Mike's not here to stop me. So, yeah. Anyways, French Toast in second. I like this horse coming off the pace like Beverly. Is coming back from a bunch of just like 2-turn races, and I think that's the big reason I like this horse to hit the board. Is now we're 6.5 furlongs. A lot of these horses, I think at 5, 5.5, maybe 6 are going to quit. This horse, will at least just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. So I like the 6 French Toast in second.
Oh, Magic. All right. Sounds good. Listen, you guys talked about the 4, the 5, the 6, the 8. I thought the 3 was a little bit interesting as well, coming from out of it, I think, today a little bit. I thought at a 6-1 price that made some sense. But I think it's kind of down to Beverly Park and Quick Tempo, the 4 and the 8. And I went Beverly Park on top. He's just a really consistent runner, for lack of a better word. I mean, he just every time he seems to bring it. Sometimes, he'll throw in a clunker every once in a while, but mostly, even if he doesn't win, he's right there with a chance. So give me the old veteran Beverly Park on top for this one. Hey, one other race. We don't have to go through it, but I did want to mention it. So the Magic Mike show did Horseshoe Indianapolis last week. They did a late pick 5, I think it was, a show for a Wednesday. Those races were canceled because of the smoke. Now, those 2 stakes races that they covered are back today. They've brought them back. And I wanted to mention in race 8, the checkered flag handicap 6 furlong race, Somich really loved and singled in that sequence the number 7 Hot Little Thing. I also like this horse as well. He is my top choice, or she is my top choice. 8-1 today. So keep an eye on the number 7 Hot Little Thing in the 8th race at Horseshoe Indy. I thought that horse looked pretty good in that race. They've redrawn it where they're back. So make sure you keep an eye on that horse at 8-1. That would be a really good price for that horse. Magic, did you have any thoughts on that one?
Just to mention, this horse has done very well Indiana Grand against Open Company too, and this is restricted to state breds. And second start for Brian Lynch. If you go back and watch the replay of the first race with Lynch last time out, this horse had such trip trouble. It was crazy, and then still won by 3 lengths. And that was why Somich was so excited to single her here. She was, you mentioned it before, she was 6-1 last week, and now she's 8-1. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'll take it.
Well, maybe we get 3 or 4-1, but still, that looked like an exciting Indiana bred type of horse here. So keep an eye on that horse. I think that's one to kind of watch out for. So I just wanted to mention that one as we go on to the best bets. And let's go, Papa Dude. Let's go to you. Give us your best bet for today.
It was a tough day. A tough day to find anything real good. So I went with the Yankees. I like that car. I like that as well. Anyway, I went with the Yankees today over Baltimore. The Orioles are fading a little bit. I like the pitching matchup for the Yanks. They're underdogs at -104, and they were the most logical bet for me today to take at a short price. They're playing better. They're sneaking up on Baltimore. So I like the Yankees at -104 today over the fading Orioles.
Okay, you're going to go Yankees. I don't hate it. I think that's very good. I think that's kind of been a toss-up series. That they've been close games. The Yankees have been able to pull away late and win both of them. We'll see if they can make it 3 in a row. Magic, I'm going to go second because I want you to be last because you've got something so special for us in store. So I will go next. I'm going to take the Diamondbacks again today. Geez, I see now they're -110. They were +100 this morning, so I'll still take it the -110. You can adjust that if you'd like. But yeah, +100, what I got them at this morning, the Diamondbacks. They lost yesterday to the Mets. Bullpen kind of let the Diamondbacks down a little bit late in that game. I think they bounce back and get the job done against the Mets. I still like them, even if that price gets a little bit shorter. Henry on the mound. He's been pitching pretty decent here lately. I think he'll pitch very good for the Diamondbacks today. So give me Arizona, even though they kind of failed me yesterday. And like I said, I have had about a 2-day run here, or 3-day run, I should say, that has not been great. So I'm looking to bounce back today big with the Diamondbacks. All right, Magic.
I asked Aaron before we, 15, 20 minutes before the show went live, Pop Dude's already ready to walk off the show. I said, how crazy can I get with this parlay? Because I really like the Astros. I think the Astros against the Rockies, it's no question. They're going to win. It's a matter of how do you want to play it. And you can't play them on the run line. You can't really play them, definitely can't play them on the money line. And I was, okay, how can I mess this or kind of juice this up a little bit? But, okay, so here's the deal. Brittany Griner. I was all set to do a Rockies-Astros thing. And then I saw this thing talking about the matchup tonight. The Phoenix Mercury versus the New York Liberty. Brittany Griner, we all know who she is. She's the one WNBA player we can all name, right? She's playing a center. She's playing a center named Jonquel Jones. Jonquel Jones, first of all, is half Bahamian, half Bosnian. I don't know how that happened, but you don't really hear of too many people being half from the Bahamas and half Bosnian. But Brittany Griner's facing her in their last 5 times that they've faced each other in a game. When they've been, Griner's had to guard Jones and vice versa. Griner's only averaged 12.5 points, 44% shooting from the field. 4 of the 5 times she didn't even get close to 20. The one time she did get 20, but so I was like, okay, that's a good one. That's a minus 136. We're going to parlay that with Chase Anderson, who I think I might be just about as capable of pitching for the Rockies. And he's a Rockies pitcher with bad stats. That's not new. He's a Rockies pitcher with bad stats that get worse when he leaves Coors Field. That's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be better as a pitcher at Coors Field. He's given up at least 3 earned runs in 5 straight starts, 28 earned runs over 19 innings pitched, and he's got a 7.04 road ERA overall. He's bad. Over 2.5 runs, that's a good number to get. And when we found out it was only going to be minus 125, I was like, bingo, there's the parlay. We're getting plus 212 on a terrible pitcher against a team that's going to destroy him. Yes, Dennis. The answer is yes to that. And then I was like, you know what? We'll get spicy here. We'll throw in some WNBA action, try and help out the bottom line here. So yeah, plus 212 on this bet, baby. Let's go.
Papa Dude, what are your thoughts on this one?
I think you got up early today to find this. It took me
45 minutes round trip for school, so I had a lot of free time this morning.
Anderson at over 2.5. I mean, that's a given, right?
I would think, yeah.
I mean, even if he pitches well, he's going to give up 4. You would think. Yeah. And Griner,
the Astros, they can hit.
The Griner one, I would have to do some research on that one. So now I want to know this Bohemian. Is it Bohem?
No, Bahamas, Bahamian.
Okay. Sorry. I just want to make sure you were as smart as
Bohemian Bosnian is different from a Bahamian Bosnian.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to make sure that you had that right. Because you were trying
We'll explain more on the Magic Mike show tomorrow. Tune in.
I like the parlay a lot because you got a cinch, I would think, on one of them. And
that's how I like to craft parlays. I don't know if I do a 2-parter. I like to find one that I'm very confident in this, and I need something that's going to juice up the odds on that I feel good about.
I would say you're going to get Anderson in 2 innings probably, because Houston's going to rock him, I would think.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
that was a great one. That's a great parlay. That is original.
I've told him 100 times.
Hey, we're going to have to bet something like this next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday if we do this stuff.
That's true. Yeah, we're not.
It's the All-Star break.
Yeah.
We don't have anything.
It could be very bad.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens here. Let's go to the best bets and let's run these down once again. Magic is going to go Brittany Griner. Yes, that Brittany Griner. Under 20.5 points tonight. And also Anderson over 2.5 earned runs allowed. Plus 212. So I'd be rooting for that one pretty hard because that would be very nice for us. The Yankees minus 104 for Papa Dude. I'm going Diamondbacks plus 100. We are 0-0 obviously this week. Guys, we were up like $500-$600 midweek last week. We're now only up $29. So we got to get back going today. Like I said, it was a rough Sunday for us, and that got my slump going. But we're going to bust out of it today. I feel it. All right, guys, that is it for today's show. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll see if Magic's WNBA bet can cash. All right, guys. See ya.